Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm. We have our official date for the next letter from the producer live, and I have been getting a ton of questions about what to even expect. So, while some of you may be on the up and up about what's coming throughout the expansion, we're going to talk about not only our expectations for the 7.1 live letter and 7.1 as a whole, but also clear up some of the approximate timings you can expect for content throughout the rest of Dawntrail. For that, we're just going to need Sly and I, so we're both here. That's my intro for the both of us this week. How you doing, Sly?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Obviously, it's been a busy time for me as of late, but not enough to be making a whole lot of video content. I'm getting back into that this week. I'm working out. Got some work-life balance stuff, try to get into. So but otherwise, yeah, I'm doing good. Aloha was okay, so that's good. And
yeah, good to hear.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
He's still got to go in for a follow-up appointment for his thyroids, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Cats have thyroid problems all the time. But my old man won't just take a nap on the couch like old men are supposed to do.
Can confirm. Can confirm.
It's crazy.
I like my couch.
How often I'm the youngest person on State of the Realm.
Yeah, my couch is comfortable. Like again, I have my living room couch, and then beside, I'm upstairs right now, and beside this room is kind of like the bonus room that I turned into just a fucking cave. Put a TV in there, couches. That's where all my bourbon is. That's where I watch my football games, play PlayStation if I feel like it. And half the time I sleep there. Like, I don't even make it to my bedroom or even downstairs. I just, end up watching TV and just pass out on the couch. And it's comfortable as shit.
That's what we call the life.
Can confirm. That is some old man shit. Can confirm.
Well, wish he would take a lesson from you in that case. So before we get started, shout out to our sponsors over on Patreon for supporting. Nobody has to support. They choose to. All of our content is available for free, whether you're watching on YouTube or you'd prefer to listen on Spotify or whatever podcast app you're using. It should be available on pretty much all of them. Enjoy. And appreciate all of you for supporting and for hanging out. Now, Sly, I'm going to say this live letter is one of those that I kind of dread. Not because of the content, but because it's at 10:50 p.m. Pacific. It is not a 4 a.m. live letter, which I actually prefer. This is what we call the DGen hour live letter, where it starts late in the evening / really early for you at 2 a.m. practically. And I hate the ones that are timed late in the evening. I hate it.
Yep. Sure do.
It's really early for the EU people who don't wake up before 7 a.m. and it's a little too late for us over here in North America.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you
said what, 10:50
p.m. PT, so it'd be 1:50 a.m. AM ET for you. Yeah. So that's gonna be a fun one. It's because it's the TGS one. They go by the stage schedule for TGS.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to be on YouTube Live, and it's going to be patch 7.1 part 1 and, quote, miscellaneous updates. Sly, what happened to the roadmap stream we were going to get? Yoshimi himself said that at Media Tour, that he wanted to do a roadmap one.
Yeah, that's the miscellaneous, right?
I mean, that's the hope. I mean, maybe we had an entire live letter for it at the end of Endwalker, and everyone really enjoyed it. Well, at the end of Endwalker. Sorry, if we haven't had our
roadmap live letter yet, then this is going to be a pretty, I'd say, beefy live letter.
Is it?
I think so.
The stage.
I mean, if they're going over patch stuff and a roadmap, which they're kind of going to go into detail about certain things within the roadmap. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty beefy one, and I fucking hate it.
It can't, though, because it's on the TGS stage. Here's the problem.
It's on the TGS stage. It's very limited. They're on a schedule. So what's your estimate? I mean, I'd say they give them about 2 hours-ish, maybe 2.5 stage time.
I don't think they ever give them that much time on the stage. I feel like they usually give them an hour to an hour and a half, and that's kind of it. I guess it depends. We don't really know what their plan is, but even they're but is it be limited
again? Is it really a stage, or is it really their section of TGS? That's the thing. If they're using a stage or just using their sequestered section of TGS. If that's the case, they can take all the time they fucking want.
Well, no,
Because
they got to have a schedule for like what activities are like, because it's all of Square Enix is probably using that. So it's like, obviously we don't know everything Square Enix is doing. I think they did put out a thing for TGS to like what to expect from TGS, but I don't expect this to really be that long. I can't find the official schedule here, but like 2 hours is the max, and that's way shorter than our average letter from the producer live. And we're talking about the JP only letter from the producer lives too, not even the like translated ones, which go on for like 4+ hours. So
yeah,
I actually think this one's going to be pretty concise, and it's just going to be the like, here's the screenshot and name of the thing. Here's like what we've already announced. Like it's going to be a lot of like really basic stuff. No in-game presentations, which is normal for part 1 live letters. We normally don't get in-game presentations for that stuff. So yeah, but like 90 minutes to 2 hours max is what I would expect. I don't think it's actually going to be that beefy, but we're going to, of course, we always cherry pick the small details. So we can make a lot out of a little normally.
We usually do.
But man, given how many promises there were for Dawntrail, there's been a lot of confusion about when anything is actually coming out.
Yeah, because like we basically been promised
the world.
Everything. Yeah. The world. Literally everything in one expansion. And like some things are kind of easy to nail down. Well, possible. Like you know your whatever the Sildian or counterpart is.
I mean, we can't. We only know what they did last expansion. We don't know what their schedule is this expansion.
You have a tendency, like your hunches are pretty good. Your hunches are pretty good. I'll give you that.
They're
like,
educated.
You got some good. They're very educated, but they're really good. So you have a tendency to like math, because I can't remember what the fuck I had for breakfast, let alone what we did
What'd
like six. Fuck. Like I said, I can't remember what I had for breakfast, let alone what we did like 6 or something months ago. So like, yeah, you time everything so well. And like you've done that throughout the years. And I'm like, well, I know we're going to get this or that pretty soon within the next patch. Like, and that's about as good as I can tell you.
And I feel like the problem is if they go by their normal schedule, the expansion's almost too much. Like, I don't want to say that because it's really not. I don't think anyone will be feeling that way between major patches once we start getting the ball rolling on Dawntrail, but it on paper looks like too much. There are some things I don't think we can accurately predict. Obviously, there's always surprise quality of life stuff. We don't know exactly when chat, like they mentioned chat bubbles recently. We don't know exactly when. We just know they're working on it. Housing updates. People keep asking next housing area, more wards, whatever we're going to get. That does not have a consistent pattern. Usually it's closer to the start of an expansion. So like a 0.15 or 0.25 wouldn't be too surprising. Even 0.05 in one case. But I don't think we can ever say for certain when to expect exact like new housing related stuff. There's always stuff we don't know about as well. There's something that we'll bring up here for 7.1 that's been a big question mark in regards to interviews. We brought it up in previous shows as well. In fact, I think in our previous show we brought it up as well. But there's a lot to go over here. So we should probably start diving into when we expect the patch, as well as when. How's my math incorrect? I just realized that oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, never mind. This was I wrote this ages ago, like my overview for what to expect. So there's some predictions on here that from before we even knew when the expansion was releasing. So I just noticed that some of the guesstimates of when we would get patches are a little incorrect. So first of all, patch 7.1. We will not get a release date for it this coming live letter.
But you have a guess.
But we have a guess. The average time between patches is 19 to 20 weeks. Normally it's mostly 19, with 20 weeks being kind of the outlier. Hard to say what'll happen this time, but 19 weeks would put it at November 12th. What we will get from the live letter is an estimate of early or mid-November, most likely. And then we'll get the confirmed date From a couple of other things, like we actually have a lot of ways to nearly confirm patch dates nowadays. Probably the biggest one is the Moogle events.
Yeah, we use that as a good barometer for a lot of things. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for those unaware, the Moogle event is almost always 4 weeks before the patch. So as soon as we get an announcement of a start date on that, which we will probably get near the beginning of October, that is when you can really start nailing down before they even actually do the release. Again, that is not set in stone. They just have a habit of using the Moogle event as a 4-week denotion. They have deviated from it before. So just putting that out there, just to get started. We also have the second live letter, which is normally 10 days before the servers go down. So, for example, it would be like November 1st if the servers were going down on the 11th. So that's another big tell. So those are really the big things that we're looking at are the dates for the live letter and the Moogle event. But when it is only important for hardcore raiders because of what's likely coming in that patch. It's what's in it. Because Dawntrail's run its course at this point for its launch. You know, people have done the story, beaten that discussion to death. We've been through the Arcadian, beaten that discussion to death. People have done their fate grinds and their crafting and gathering grinds and their Roniques and their Tiaitias and, you know, leveling their jobs and their EX trial grinds and everything that usually comes with the start. People are going through the Cenote Jaja Garal and trying to collect those items as well. Like, we're good. We've got our usual expansion launch stuff out of the way. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens in the rest of Dawntrail? Why do you keep playing this game? Very good question. Why are you smiling at that, Sly? Why do you keep playing this game?
Isn't that the question we had like right before Dawntrail come out? Why are you playing the game? Why nobody playing? We need a thing to come back to.
Yep.
We need to play the game.
Need to play the game right now. Never stop playing the game.
Never stop playing.
Never stop.
Never.
Now, the usual trimmings are, of course, going to be some of the highly, I guess not even divisive is the right word. Obviously, we'll have the continuation of the MSQ. That'll be the first big thing. People are very curious to see because obviously we've spoken about it before. The MSQ for Dawntrail was quite divisive when we had Michael on. And people were really hoping that 7.1 through 7.3 can change their mind if they're kind of away from liking Dawntrail. People who liked it are hoping they don't suddenly like realize like, oh, this is really like it's not even getting worse. It's just like not improving or not getting better throughout the way.
Again, I'm not really like I'm indifferent because I was satisfied with what I got. So again, new story beat, like it can only go up in my opinion from here.
I'm not convinced it can only go up. I could definitely go down. But yeah, I was middling. I was like, some things I like, some things I don't like. Not the worst, but you know,
yeah, it's not perfect. It's not perfect by any means, but yeah, like you know, maybe I am a little bit optimistic, but yeah, I'm not doom and gloom over the story like a lot of people are.
Yeah. Now speaking of MSQ, one of the main things I'm excited for is our new Extreme Trial, which will be the Interfos.
Endless.
Yep.
Endless Fiend. Yes.
Yep. Against the Queen herself, not the Queen Bee. We're done with that Queen. Come 7.1. Well, we're not really because she's still weekly locked probably, but you know. Yeah. The Interfos Extreme, which is the Extreme that will either excite me the most or disappoint me the most.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever felt like going into it. I already know I'm either one. I'm not. There's no way I can have an in the middle opinion.
I feel it's going to be way better than Thought Topic EX.
That's Endsinger for those who didn't understand the reference.
Yeah.
Thought Topic. That's a hell of a name for Endsinger. All right. I can dig it. It can't be as disappointing as Endsinger. If it is, here's the problem. If it is as disappointing as Endsinger, I will be doubly as disappointed because I think the Interfos was one of the best MSQ final bosses we've ever had.
Yeah.
Even with the Sphene meme from the latter part of it. Yeah. So I really hope we get a lot of gravity shenanigans and visual, like it was a lot of visual obscurity or like visual puzzles. Like I died because I didn't realize that the platforms were like there was one below and one above, and I got clipped because I was trying.
Oh yeah, that happened to me the first time. Yeah.
Like I know that now, but I really want to see them go all out with it.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So if you've been looking forward to the Interfos Extreme, that will be in 7.1. Speaking of extremes, Unreal will be returning.
It will.
Yep. And my money-making machine will begin. What Unreal do you think we're going to get?
I don't know what we're going to get, but I know what I want to get.
What do you want to get?
Ravana.
I would like Ravana. I think it's going to be Nidhogg, to be fair.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying Nidhogg. I wouldn't mind Nidhogg, but I would definitely want Ravana.
Furious as a blaze. I wouldn't mind hearing all those lines again and getting my march on. But yeah, yep. I mean, I would be okay with either. The real thing is that this is a weekly activity that I have only ever missed a handful of weeks of in the entirety of its life cycle as a piece of content. And so it really is something that I genuinely look forward to every week. And it not being on expansion launches for me is a disappointment. I get why it's not, but I wish that they would. I wish they would bring it in like 0.5 and not all the way. Like even if I had to wait till 0.15 to get the next one versus getting it on, I would take that over not having it through all of 7.0.
Man, holding on to these like what Fox leaves, the Fox currency, holding on to this for like a patch and some change is hard as fuck because like I've been wanting, like I'm patient because I know what we're like. I know once patch hits, money, but
yep,
you know it's kind of hard to just sit there and just wait for like a patch or a patch and a half just to kind of get your cash out, so to speak.
Well, fingers crossed that we get some pretty decent rewards going right into 7.1, something that we could sink our teeth. I kind of am hoping for something I don't want to sell. That way, if it gets undercut,
no, fuck that. I want the money. I want the money.
I'm going to go for the cash out first, no matter what. But if it drops really fast on Gilgamesh, I'm just going to use it and then sell the next. Like if I can't get that initial rush because I just don't get it somehow, I'm just going to use it if it's something cool. I haven't actually liked most of the Unreal rewards.
Same. Like I usually don't. I mean, no. Usually I just get it and put it on the board.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Time.
I've been doing that since the last one I bought for myself was the mining suit, which was the red version of the PvP mount from Ansal Hakar.
Yeah. Do I have that one? I don't think I have that one. No, I sold it. Yeah, that's the one I kept selling. Yeah, that's right.
That's the last one I actually like wanted to keep for myself. So I wouldn't mind something I want to keep for myself as well. It'd be a nice change of pace for me.
Yeah.
We of course get a new dungeon. Dungeon quality in Dawntrail has been phenomenal. Curious to see if that will continue or not, or if we go back to the point of like, this dungeon, it's fine. I don't really do dungeons. I don't care.
If we're going back to 6.1, the 6.1 dungeon was Alzadal's Legacy.
That is correct, which was a pretty good dungeon. I liked Alzadal's.
Yeah.
That was above average. I liked it more than fucking Troya, the very next patch. Oh,
I got tired of Troya so quick. But every time I go into Alzadal's, it's like, you know what? I'm okay here.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Yeah.
You should get the Final Fantasy 11 flashbacks. That's what I get when I go into Alzadal. I hope they continue because, like, while I think there are design flaws in places like Origenics specifically with Trash, which I do hope they don't make that mistake again.
Yep.
The actual dungeons
fucking turtle
and the encounters in the dungeons have all been really good. I think the Exterminator is a very, very good example of a dungeon boss that they should probably aspire to maintain.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Final boss of the amusement park, the ghost boss.
Love the ghost boss for the final boss of Straybro. Yeah, that's another. I mean, actually, throughout the last all the bosses. See, I'm a person who loves the first boss of Straybro because it's fucking hilarious. I've had so many funny runs there. But no, all of the level 100 dungeons, the bosses there, I think the first boss of Alexandria is not that good. It basically just does the looping like cross plus donut AoE thing, and it's like, okay, come on now. But
yeah,
it doesn't get people killed, so it's still kind of funny in that one. But no, Exterminator for me is the tippy top of like the 100 dungeon bosses, I think. As much as I love Serpent.
Do you think we ever get any more bosses like Skull Crusher?
Skull Crusher?
Skull Crusher was what dungeon? This was the dungeon before we actually got to the Golden City.
Oh,
where you can
Fake Titan. Yeah. I'm not wild about the wall bosses, but that one actually caused a lot of pain and hardship when I was going through it in like the Duty Finder. So I'll say sure. Saw a lot of Skull Crusher memes. Yeah, that was the time. So I wouldn't mind that. That was a pretty damage intensive one if your healer died, so it wasn't like the tank could do the whole thing. Like just but blindfolded. Like I remember we had a healer disconnect, and because we were pre-made, we couldn't replace them. So we had to try to do it with 3 people. And so I saw more sides to that boss than I think anyone ever should. Which was actually really interesting. I was like, damn, this dungeon boss actually has teeth. I'm kind of okay with that. So, no, I guess specifically a boss like that, probably not again anytime soon, but they've done some pretty interesting boss. I mean, I think back to, what's it called? I only remember the song Carrots of Happiness. What was the name of that dungeon? The bunny dungeon?
Now I can't remember.
Yeah. Smileton. There it is. Smileton. The last boss with like the conveyor belts with the bombs and stuff like that caused.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
They've done some pretty good boss designs throughout some of Endwalker as well. Endwalker actually had pretty good overall boss design for dungeons. A lot of it very middling, but some of the standouts were all done pretty exceptionally well. I'm just hoping that we get Dawntrail, like the Dawntrail dungeon quality continues, because I think that's a place. I think the content itself is where Dawntrail has excelled, so I don't want to feel like we're stepping back into Endwalker dungeon design. So I just want them to maintain that. Because like I said, I don't do dungeons a whole lot, but I want the dungeons to be really good. I don't want to walk away from a dungeon and go like, I never want to do that dungeon again. Like Troya. I don't want to do Troya ever again. You know? I don't want to walk away from a dungeon like that. I want to walk away and have a generally positive feel, add a song to my add a song to my playlists, and call it a day.
Yeah.
Then we get into 24-man content, which has been a very hot topic as of late. So Echoes of Vanadiel Part 1 is going to be releasing with 7.1. And that is very, very highly anticipated, especially given that we know they're aiming for a higher difficulty than that of the Myths of the Realm series. They want players to wipe 2 or 3 times in the new 24-man. How do you feel about super easy versus, I guess, what would you rather have? Would you rather have Weeping City? Or actually, I'm sorry.
I was about to say Weeping City. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna jump.
Weeping City would probably be the best example.
I was gonna jump up to Evilise maybe as an example, but I'll
Orbon.
with that. Yeah, I could have jumped up. Would you rather have an Orbon or would you rather have a Void Ark? I guess.
Orbon.
There you go. That's my boy.
Yeah.
That's what I like to see. Okay. Yeah. That is the correct answer. Sly, you get to stay on the show. Anyway.
Hooray.
This is a big one, though. Final Fantasy 11 people. Sid sucks. No, we like Sid. Yeah, no, this is a big one. The Final Fantasy 11 raid series. Obviously, following up a raid series that people loved for a lot of things, but not for the actual raids themselves. Just for the bosses, the comedy, you know, trying to blow kisses at a boss and then retaliating and stuff like that. This one is a.
Do we get anything like that here?
No. There's no way. Here's the thing: the only emote interaction. I'm sorry, I can't confidently say it was the only one, but the only major one was kneeling before Odin to potentially stop him from one-shotting you with Zantetsuken. It wasn't a guaranteed thing, but it was the only way to actually stop, to even make it potentially not one-shot you, was to kneel before him while he was doing it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a big one with Odin in Final Fantasy XI. I don't think we'll even see Odin here, and I don't think they're going to do any sort of weird interactions like that.
Because Odin's what? Odin's Ottergon, right?
That is correct, yes.
So yeah, we don't see Odin here. Not yet.
No.
It'll be the second one.
I don't think we see Odin, period, because there's no
Really?
reason. I don't think we're going to see Ottergon stuff at all. I think it's going to stop at chains.
Yeah. I'm glad. That's a good thing for me. Right.
Yeah, but I do think I think this raid will either be called the Northlands or just called Castles of Vol. I think that's what this raid actually is Castles of Vol. That would be the home of the Shadow Lord, who is the base game's final boss, who we've already seen artwork for. So,
yeah,
that's what my prediction is. I'm willing to predict it would be this, maybe the amphitheater, and then the Garden of Rumet. I think would be 3 reasonable boss guesses. I always makes me think back to Ethis correctly guessing all of the Void Arc series. He guessed exactly. He was like, well, I'm sorry. He specifically guessed the final area we'd be going to, like from the Void Arc onward. He's like, oh, we're probably going to this area. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Bro, you figured that out like a year and a half in advance. What the fuck? He had that shit on lock.
he really did. One thing I think about, I think it's from Chains. What was because God, I haven't played 11 in so long. There's the tribe in Wachimpelo, I think. Not Wachimpelo. Yeah, the giants.
The trolls.
Because they're from 11.
The trolls are from
the
Ottergon.
trolls. They're from Ottergon.
Yes, they control.
I thought they were.
No, they control Mount Zeolm, and Cerberus lives in their lair. The Mammiljaw live in Mammoth, the trolls live in Mount Zeolm, and the Lamia live in the Arapago Reef.
I remember going through this dungeon. I think it was a chain. It was the start of Chains, and it was like just a level, and
That's
I killed
Movopolis.
a bunch of them. Yeah,
that's the Mrhappy. That's where the Moblins come from, and you might be thinking of bugbears. Bugbears are these giant ass like mutant Moblins. You know A5S? Against the scientist who transforms into the big thing. That's a bugbear. Yeah. That's a little bigger than the average bugbear, but that's the closest we have to a bugbear in 14. No. Yeah, no, I don't think we see anything that connects the Yaqui with the Final Fantasy 11s and the Mammiljaw. I don't think we're going to see anything. Like, you might, it's a possibility you might see them there, but like not specifically our Mammiljaw or our Yaqui, which would be the troll equivalent over there. No, I think we largely stick to demons, beastmen. So we'll see Quadabs, Yagudos, demons. What are they called? Orcs, Shadow Lord, and probably imps. And there's one other that I'm forgetting. There's one other type of enemy. I mean, maybe a shadow. Oh, it's shadow dragons. Shadow dragons are almost certainly going to be in this one. For those who are wondering, shadow dragons are. You remember in the Endwalker trailer, the red dragons that Alice is fighting?
Yeah.
Those are the model of a shadow dragon.
Yeah.
I did say Yagudo. That was the first one I said. Come on now.
Do you think we outside of the first iteration, first and second iteration, because I think it'll be probably no. Do you think we get Sky?
Well, that's Rua Vital. That's what I said. I think the second one would be. That's Sky.
Okay.
Technically, it's all the Ron Gardens, but it goes into the Rua Vital amphitheater. So there's I think Sky and Sea are iconic places that you should expect to go to. I don't think they'll do Delkfoot. I think they'll leave Delkfoot out of it entirely, as important as it is.
I love Delkfoot. Delkfoot.
Delkfoot's in Strangers of Paradise, which was jarring. I was just like, it's just, I was just like, Jesus Christ, climbing this place sucks just as much here as it does in Final Fantasy 11. What do you know?
It was Delphic Tower. They were.
Those are giants, not trolls.
Yeah.
The giants are equivalent to our Gigas, which are over in like Kurthus Central.
Yeah, because that's where I went to. That's where Xavier took me to level. Like he's like, okay,
oh yeah,
here you go.
Really,
you're gonna do this. Mm-hmm. You're gonna kill these in this one area. Just don't run out because you'll probably get ganged up on.
Yep.
Just do this. Yep. Yeah. So yeah.
That's the giants and the Gigas. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Gigas in this. I think in the lore for 11, the Gigas specifically turned down the Shadow Lord's offer. That's like one of the forces he can never sway to his side, or at least he couldn't immediately. I think at some point he does, but then after they lose the war, they flee to Kufim Island, if I recall. I remember them not immediately giving in to joining the Shadow Lord, but he definitely has some giants and Gigas in his army, so that's possible. That's a definite possibility to see the Gigas there as well. Now, while Echoes of Vanadiel, you can expect one more artwork. They might show the Shadow Lord artwork again. I think they'll show another artwork and at least unveil what the actual name of the first raid is. There's also, of course, the statement that has been throwing people for a loop, and that we are getting some sort of 24-man Savage encounter of some kind. We don't really know the nature of it. That is planned for the 7.1x, specifically 1x. So this isn't like down the line. This is like imminent. And then everyone's confused about this because they're like, well, it's not part of the exploration content because we know when that is, and we'll talk about that later today. So what is it? Is it part of Echoes of Vanadiel, and they're just like trying to capture on like the Final Fantasy 11 vibe of like, you know, the Alliance content being big? You know, is it something else? Is it technically part of the field operation content, but it's like preceding it in some we don't know. It's such a huge mystery. I don't know what to expect from this. Like I made a prediction last time we talked about it, but like I don't even know how to approach this topic because it'd be a wild deviation from anything we've seen before.
And another thing to think of is gear or rewards from it.
Yeah.
Like how would they compare to, you know, Savage?
I kind of hope they just go straight up for an item level. What's our current max item level right now? 730? 735 weapons, I think it is. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah. 735 body piece. I would like some 735 stuff from this. It would come out after Ultimate anyway. In theory, I should say. We don't know, I guess, technically. But, like, in theory, it would happen after Ultimate. So, getting a little bit of early access to some 735 armor of some kind, I think, with, like, 3 slots, maybe. I don't know. I think that's reasonable.
3 slots?
Well, because the ultimate weapon has 3 slots, so I'm kind of treating it in that same regard. They're gonna do this here, give it 3 slots also, kind of deal. And then you've got like 5 or 6 different body pieces you maybe want to collect weekly, you know, so you have like a little bit of reason to do it again. And then on top of that, some people are just gonna like doing it. I think that's enough to get the ball rolling reward wise. I think they should do more than that. I think its own achievement, its own title. You know, maybe something else from it as well. I think they need to, again, learn from Criterion and understand they really have to kind of push the boundaries of rewards with this one.
Yeah.
But or accessories even. Like, I would rather have something visual, personally, like something really visible that you did the 24-man than accessories. They could do accessories as well. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. More accessory options has long been requested, but
I just don't think we're getting just don't think you're getting a whole armor set out of Savage.
I don't know. They said 50% more rewards by 0.3, and some of that's going to be more content, but some of that's got to be the rewards that they're giving to us. Like, it can't just be the return of field content meaning 50% more rewards, right? It's got to be present in other places like here in Criterion. You have to get it right. We can't have another Endwalker situation, or it's gonna be bad.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm
trying to be optimistic about this, like about what they could do that is a good idea. And a body piece is a good idea. See, that was what I said for Criterion too. Like, Criterion needs to be something very appealing to people. It either needs to be a reasonable way to get upgrades, and Savage needs to have, like, you know, really good bonus stuff like the weapons, but I think they could do better. And also, I'll talk about the Criterion. I was going to go into Criterion stuff, but besides the point. Yeah, no, but this, I mean, we don't even know what this is the big question mark. Like, we still need to know what this is in the first place.
There's so many questions surrounding it. Like, we don't know, like, lore-wise or story-wise, how we'll get there, what the fight's going to be like.
Shadow Lord Savage, come on, let's do it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, there's just so many questions surrounding this. My main concern is the reward structure. That's kind of where my headspace is in terms of all this. Everything else is kind of extra to me.
Yeah, and hopefully they will bring this up. Like, if they don't put this in the point one live letter, I'm gonna be livid. Like, just acknowledge that you said it in an interview at the very least. Yeah, I mean, obviously not just me, but, like, you know, this is, I need to know more. There are some people who don't give a shit. I need to know.
Right.
Yeah. Now that's a lot of the most major content for the, like, we do have other stuff. I think a big thing in point one, and this is going to be very important, is on top of just balance changes for the game, which since Pictomancer has kind of ruined our perception of balance. It's kind of rough. But PvP is supposed to see a major update in point one. They said they would hold off on most of their major PvP changes until 7.1. So Crystalline Conflict kicked off 6.1 really well. And it's still, while not nearly what it was at its peak in terms of popularity, is still an important foothold in PvP in 14. And has continued to be. In fact, I was part of a shoutcasting for the an unofficial world championship where they gathered some of the best teams and they competed against each other. EU didn't participate.
Yeah, by the way, how was that, by the way?
It was really good. We had JP, China, Korea, OCE, and NA all competed over on the JP data centers specifically. And it was fantastic. True story. So we had multiple languages for the broadcast. And on the JP stream, Yoshi P was watching.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was tuned in for the JP shoutcasting crew. So it was a really good time. So, and man, it was fast paced. I love actually watching the fully constructed PvP tournaments for Crystalline Conflict. It's very entertaining. It's very, very entertaining. Shoutcasting it also very, very entertaining. But this is important because Crystalline Conflict still has some things that keep people out of it full time. And we don't know if this is going to be a lot of things that affect Crystalline Conflict or if it's going to be a new Frontlines map, because we were told we were getting a new map for Frontlines this expansion, which is not exactly when. So getting a new map for Frontlines here would be pretty cool. Now, what do you want for a Frontlines? Now, you don't need to give me the area of the map. That would be ridiculous to try to guess. But what kind of mode? Because I'm still waiting on Capture the Flag.
Capture the Flag.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Okay, good. We're on the same bar. I want to Capture the Flag mode in Final Fantasy 14. Like, really, really bad. I love.
Yeah, I think like a regular death match is too boring. Plus, that's what half the people think fucking Crystalline Conflict is anyway. To be fair, so just go do casual Crystalline Conflict if you want team deathmatch. I don't know. I just want to capture the flag.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big Capture the Flag. I'm definitely an Mrhappy Basin Warsong Gulch enjoyer when it came to World of Warcraft. Those were my two big ones. So I think also the size of the map needs to be considered. I really think their map sizes are far too large. Even if they want to keep doing 24-player content, I really think they need to shorten.
Even for 3 teams.
Even for 3 teams. I think. Here's the other thing. I really don't want any more 3-team shit. I know they said Frontlines, which is why Capture the Flag's kind of rough to expect. Because by default, our front lines are 3 teams. I really would like them to go down to 2 teams and redo all the fucking maps. This whole 3-team thing is just not good. I just think it's a terrible format for doing anything other than the same thing with a different skin. And I don't want that. I want them to feel like they can confidently go into other modes. So, and bring back the old Rival Wings maps for the love of God. Give us back the, like you said it was coming back. Where did Astrologos go? It says gone, Sly. Oh man, yeah, no,
they ain't coming back.
Absolutely,
ain't coming back.
Absolutely, axe 3 teams. If they did that for the 7.1 PvP update, I think that would be the best play. Is axe all the 3-team maps and make them 2-team maps, and then put Rival Wings in the roulette with front lines. That's the perfect PvP. Like, it's such a waste that Rival Wings sits on its own and isn't a part of anything. Like, that's a huge fucking problem. The only reason anyone plays it is because the community makes these Rival Wings days. Otherwise, it'd be dead. Completely dead. It already is pretty much for the most part.
Yeah, the community is pretty much, for the most part, keeping Rival Wings alive.
If you can even call it that. They got it on a fucking respirator.
I think it's called Revival Wings.
That's why it's called Revival Wings. Exactly. So, yeah, that is my number one hope for Dawntrail. Take PvP maps down to 2 teams, all of them, and put all of them into a roulette. That way Rival Wings isn't segregated away. That way you can do better map modes. We're good. If they do that, I don't even give a fuck what they do to Crystalline Conflict. Conflict will keep going no matter what. This needs to happen. So that's my 7.1 hope. Not a prediction, because I don't think they're going to fucking do it. But that's my hope. I'm ready for it. You have to redo every map. They have to remake every map. To be clear, they cannot leave the maps as is. But still, unless they want the teams to start in 2 random locations, don't do that. Make the maps built for 2 teams. Don't make it built for 3 and then shove 2 teams in there.
Don't. Oh my God.
The fact that I even
now
said
you make
it
sound,
like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, you make it sound like fucking Fortnite. No, ew.
Where are we dropping, Sly?
Nope.
Sly, where are we dropping? Come on.
Nope.
Let's go.
Nope.
Come on now.
Mm-mm.
You know the Final Fantasy 14 Fortnite thing is going to happen at some point. You're going to see Louis Suave running around with a fucking AK at some point, right? You understand that? You understand that one day that's going to happen. You know it.
Louis Suave is doing fucking Fortnite dances. Oh my God, I can't unpicture it.
You're going to have
his Ishtola
just doing... Ishtola's gonna be fucking boogieing over there.
Keep Fortnite out of 14? No. We can't keep 14 out of Fortnite. That's probably gonna happen.
Yeah, at some point, Square's gonna be like, "Listen, here you go," and then that's Ishtola with a fucking shotgun. Be like, "Here's your Fire 4, bitch." All right. Louis Saw hitting the grid. There you go. I'm telling you, it's unavoidably gonna happen.
Man.
We have fucking Fall Guys in our game. That happened. This has already happened. That was shocking enough as it is. All right. But yeah, so PvP update, that's what I'm hoping for. Would also like to see more rewards updated. I think they haven't supported PvP rewards well enough. I don't think the Wolf Collar rewards are good enough. And
I mean, what more would you want out of PvP rewards?
I think they just need to give them more frequent additions. Like trophy crystals and marks are just like they get useless so quick.
Because well, for the most part, you go through them, so like you get them at a quick amount. So like once you do it, you get everything, and it's like, okay.
But then they don't add anything, so you don't have much of a reason. You just kind of sit on your excess and you go, well, they're not adding anything, so why would I keep going? Like essentially, the series rewards are driving everything. And where are the old series rewards? They said they wouldn't FOMO those, and we haven't seen them again yet. So 7.1 is going to be very telling.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should cycle in the old rewards at a better rate.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. If they start cycling them back in 7.1, then essentially it's one expansion. So like 7.1 is 6.1's reward, 7.2 is 6. At that point, the pacing is fine, but it needs to start is the problem.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Somebody said the loot boxes that grand companies get being thrown into PvP as well as a viable thing. I think that's fine. People do like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. That's a perfectly acceptable and reasonable idea. So go for it.
Yeah.
Loot boxes in PvP. A game's never done that before. As we just talked about Fortnite. All right. And then we expect like new fashion accessories, the glasses, umbrellas, UI updates. Yeah. It's just like, of course, like that's stuff you can't ever like definitively say. I'm curious to see if they'll add any more like social level features. We know they want to rework the friends list. They have said they want to rework it.
Please.
They've also said they want to rework the mentor system as well at some point, this expansion.
Good. Because again, my gripe really isn't toward battle mentor. It's more for crafter gatherer mentor.
It's definitely for battle mentor.
No. I mean, yeah. For the most part, for the most part, I mean, it's all together. But again, when you compare the battle job mentor to the crafting gathering mentor, crafting gathering has no way to interact as a mentor. Like, what do you get out of battle? You get a roulette. You what else do you get? I mean, besides,
I understand. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I'm also all for taking away the roulette from the battle mentors. So I think we're on different sides of the spectrum.
No, it's just that I want some way to interact as a gatherer, crafter, mentor. It's just boring. Like, hey, you did all these collectibles. Congratulations. You get a Burger King crown.
The idea is supposed to be that if somebody sees you with that crown and they want to ask you something, you're okay with helping people. The problem is nobody's going to ask a random stranger.
People ask me shit anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not going to, like, they might not even, even if you don't have the crown, if they see you doing it, they might just ask you anyway, or they won't. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know how I feel about battle mentors. Not all of them. There are good ones, but the system that's built for it is the more accurate thing to say. Leads to the things I don't like about it. So, and that's all we can definitively say for 7.1. Obviously, the 24-player Savage I would not expect to be on patch, but at the very least, I had to bring it up because it's a big unknown.
Yeah, you did say Cosmic Exploration would probably be 0.2. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things that are mysteries about the rest of, because here's the thing, that's 7.1 at base. There's 7.1x. So 7.11, the big thing is obviously Futures Rewritten Ultimate.
Futures Rewritten.
Which should be 2 weeks after the release of the patch, whenever that release is, which would put it squarely on November 26th by my prediction, which I fucking hope not, because people are going to either have to be thankful for their Thanksgiving dinner with their family or for their 7 static mates. And I'm nervous about which one they're going to pick.
God, the math and just the timing. Like, I don't know if they're going to even consider, like, American holidays.
Oh, no, not a chance. They don't give a fuck.
No. So, yeah.
Turkey Week Ultimate.
Good luck, y'all.
I like, they better not ruin Thanksgiving. I like that it's them ruining it. Oh, Square Enix better not ruin Thanksgiving.
What are you thankful for? My 7 raid mates.
Until your static breaks and now you missed both Thanksgiving and you're clear.
And Black Friday.
And
probably.
Black Friday. No, I can do that online in between polls. Fuck it.
Or, Cyber Monday.
Yeah, do Cyber Monday. Just do it online anyway. That's a big thing. Now, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I was talking about this before the show. Sly, I think this is the only ultimate for the expansion.
I'm semi-inclined to agree with you. I'm semi-inclined to agree with you. It's just, there's a lot going on in this expansion. There's a lot promised with this expansion. So it begs a question you're probably thinking is, with all on their plate, can they do 2 ultimates this expansion?
I'm not even worried about can. I don't even think they want to be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, with all the shit that you do you really want to?
I want to, sort of, kind of. But I don't think they want to. I think they just don't want to do it, to be honest.
Here's a question though. As a raider, as a hardcore raider, I'll because like you're not really even racing at this point. You're just in.
I go fast.
Hardcore. You go fast. I mean, you want to go fast, but you're like, are you going for world first?
I always say I'm going for it, but like, I'm not willing to make certain concessions that tend to be associated.
That's fair. And that's fair.
Some of you understand what I mean by that. Many of you understand what I mean by that.
Are you okay with having only one ultimate? Are you okay as a hardcore raider?
I don't care.
You don't care? You're indifferent?
I'm indifferent. So here's the thing. Endwalker taught me that more is not always better.
And I keep trying to fucking tell y'all motherfuckers that. And then, like, here's the thing. I think a lot of raiders, hardcore or not, whatever, because like you can for the duration of Endwalker, even when there was nothing to do, y'all kept raiding. And I'm like, why?
That's what they want to do.
There ain't nothing. It's one, it's what they want to do. Two, there ain't nothing else to do. And I'm like, don't y'all get tired of it? And pretty much resounding, every one of them said, yeah, I kind of get fucking tired of this. Then why the fuck are y'all still doing it? I think I think every raider has a case of Stockholm syndrome. Like y'all can't stop. It's like drugs. You can't stop. Even though you want to go do other shit. I mean, eventually you will go do other shit, but half the times you don't because, I got to raid her for what? Like it's the end of expansion. You got your weapons. Yeah. You got gear. Yeah. So what the fuck you doing it for? I don't know.
Listen, bless Sauce and Sayori and all them for running the whole ultimate thing, but goddamn, I would go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Doing all of that ultimate. Like I would lose my fucking mind 6 times over. Like even if it's like, oh, one pull, one clear, or it's just kind of a chill, like just doing the activity as much as that would fucking... There's somebody who comes into my stream who does a lot of endgame rating, and he'll tell me like, I just got my 600th top clear, and I'm like...
Oh, I like Mythics. This is correct, but we aren't willing to talk about it. I know! Y'all fucking hate it. You just don't... It's a drug. It is a literal drug, and y'all don't have any other explanation other than, either A, we ain't got shit else to do, or B, why not? Like, it is a drug to y'all. So yes, like more is sometimes not a better thing for y'all. Y'all like I keep telling y'all need to touch grass and eat ass. Like, I don't know.
You don't technically need to do the second one, but he's telling you that maybe you should try it. You might find out that you like something. Anyway. Yeah. It's I'm indifferent. Like the back-to-back-to-back raid burnout of Endwalker, I only felt it to the capacity where I wasn't really excited to do DSR top again. And I have been back into DSR and mostly just DSR since. Like top, I went back into like for like a day or two and I was like, yeah, I don't have the schedule for this. But yeah, it's a lot, man. It's just a lot.
So what happens when we get only one this expansion?
Then they just do DSR.
Y'all just gonna
fly. That's it. They just do more DSR on top. That's you don't understand. Okay,
Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome. You go.
They're having fun.
Are they?
Yes. I said them, not me, just to be clear.
Like I had a feeling you were gonna say you just go back to DSR and top. God.
But after that, T and UCOB.
I'm noticing you're not saying Uru.
No.
Okay.
The people who like to run ultimates all the time do UWA when they're asked, and that's it. They don't go out of their way to do it. They don't want to do it. Hell, they don't even want to go out of their way for
they, no. They'll have a reason to do it now because there's only one ultimate.
I just think that.
What else you gonna?
So here's the main reason why everyone's worried about the one ultimate is because when they said, "Oh, content coming in Dawntrail," they said they only listed the one.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with Endwalker, they did say that there would be more than one. They refused to promise 3, but they said there would be more than one. So they didn't say that this time. So that's why everyone's kind of like, But the real question is, what about the 24 players? Like, what if we get 3 24-player Savages? What if we get another DRS? What if we get 3 Criterions and Criterion Savages, plus a deep dungeon, plus exploration? Like, do I really need a second ultimate to sate me? I don't. I personally don't. I feel like I'll be plenty busy with all those.
The only variable in this this equation is if you are happy with.
Well, I'm always happy, content. Sly. That's.
If you are content with all the other content that you are getting.
Got him. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Show's done.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, and that's 7.11. Now 7.15, if I'm going to guess when the 24-player Savage is, it would be there, not on release. But we also have Hildebrand kicking up again. We have the role quests and the Wachu Meki Meki quests, which they said they were currently planning for 7.1x for the combined versions. New custom delivery client, which is something people do care about. They do log on. They do want to play dress up. And our first set of Allied Society quests is another one. The combat ones for those people who haven't leveled. So there are a lot of side story stuff, more casual stuff to casually enjoy. Probably updates to loot tables for stuff like treasure maps and whatnot. And actually, while it's not listed here on my notes here, I actually think the Blue Mage update might be 7.15. I think they can't do it in 0.25 or 0.35, and then Beastmaster is supposed to be late.
I would have thought that Beastmaster would have been earlier.
No, they literally said Beastmaster was late Dawntrail when they announced it.
Okay.
That was their exact words. So I'm just going off what they said. So yeah, and like 0.25 is where we're going to be getting exploration content, probably Cosmic Expo. Like there's too much in 0.25 and 0.35, I think, to pair Blue Mage. To be fair, that has not stopped them before. I still remember Alexander Ultimate coming out, and then Blue Mage getting level 60 update for more Alexander in 0.15. And I was like, why? Why have you done this? And you know what would be, you know what? Actually, no, we already have Eden. That's right. We already have Eden for them. So that's fine. We're past that, but still.
Yeah.
Although, if they add a mount for level 90 Blue Mage raid stuff, and we have to go back and do Eden Ultimate, I mean, Eden Savage on it, still. Yeah. So that's what we're expecting, things to at least somewhat expect them to talk about from the next letter from the producer live. You know, all the stuff we just went over, we're pretty much just dialing into that. It's a lot of stuff. That's far from where we're over, Sly. We're so far from over. Dawntrail is packed. So then we go on to 7.2, which, following prediction, April 8th-ish, around that time, early to mid-April, would be the expected launch time of 7.2.
Okay.
A lot of stuff. MSQ, side quests, balance changes are big because it's another Arcadian patch, and a new cap tome. Those are all pretty standard stuff for 0.2. Arcadian second tier, the normal mode. Savage likely a week later like they did for 6.2. Not 2 weeks later like we have for the launch. We're probably going to go back to regular schedule, which also means we're probably going back to cap tomes on release, and then you have a week of cap tomes going into the first week of Arcadian Savage, plus you have a week to do your crafted stuff, which was very well received in Endwalker. Very, very, very well received. So that's a nice little thing to look forward to with 7.2. New trial and extreme version. We should be starting a potential trial series. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. I honestly think if they're going to do a series, I don't think it's going to be an old Final Fantasy reference this time, unless they want to tie in old Final Fantasy bosses into, what are the, Valgarmanda's a what? I always forget the name. Him, the Sambies, like the type of creature that they are. The sandworm is also in Shalani is also one of these. Chat, help us out. No, not in Esper. In Final Fantasy 14, the Tural Vidral. I wouldn't be surprised to see a trial series around very threatening Vidral. And they could use that as an excuse to kind of do some off-the-cuff Final Fantasy bosses like Valagarmanda and whatnot.
Yeah.
So a Vidrali series, I think, could be really cool to introduce. I think there are just some bosses in Final Fantasy that are really hard to... Aloha, go back to sleep. That are really hard to justify putting in like some places. So I think they could use this as kind of a reason to tie them to some of the lore.
Yeah, I could dig that.
Yeah. What bosses, though? No idea. But new trial, new extreme. That's 7.2. New Unreal, which I think will start the Four Lords. I think will be Byakko in 7.2.
Wow. That's going to be so much fun.
Receive upon me my fury, children of man and quality. Gonna be hearing that every week.
No more games!
Listen, I may not be a huge fan of Byakko, but if I only have to do it once or twice a week, I think I can manage. I survived like 9 months of Thornton. I think I can fucking make it through a few months of Byakko.
Yeah.
New dungeon, cosmic exploration, very likely to be happening in 7.2.
I have a issue. Well, not really an issue, but
yeah,
I have a request for cosmic exploration because the thing about content like this, and it goes back to rewards for it. I think the reward structure for this is it's okay. We can call it okay. It's bare bones to say the least. Honestly, I think this should give a fuck ton of material. like literally a fuck ton of material. That's where I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I think this should give a fuck.
So easy to get now. Come on, don't be a bitch.
But it's easy to get, yes, but
so I have 700 of all of the crafting 11s of each of them.
How'd you get them?
Purple scripts. I spent that's like 3 days worth of crafting I did. Not even 3 full days.
There should be alternatives to like purple scripts or anything. Like just people need 12s. People need 12s. So
yeah, but 12s are
this should get this. It's easy, but it's a lot of work. It is, like, to be fair, it is a lot of fucking work. For new gear for melding new crafted or crafting gear, excuse me. By the time because you want to do more than fucking crafting, right? You want to do everything. If you really wanted to prepare your crafter for the next patch, like, you have to be solely focused on crafting. Otherwise, you're shit. You're shit out of luck, and you have to buy it off the market board. This should help you prepare. I feel like this content should help you, be prepared for the next patch and get everything melded, because you need a fuck ton of materia. Go ahead, Happy. What's up?
I think you're overblowing it. I'm not saying it shouldn't give materia. I think you're overblowing how hard it is to get the grade 12s.
I'm not really overblowing. I mean, you get grade 12s, yes, but like when it comes down to it, when it's time to meld, you need way more than you fucking already have. And again, it's just like it's a time sink and a gill sink. Because half the time, like, you're taking what you have and pretty much that's not enough. So the other half is that gill sync. I'm saying this content should eliminate the gill sync, is what I'm saying.
So keep in mind, 7.2 will also likely be gathering materia from the gathering tribe as well.
Oh, that's even fucking worse.
Definitely disagree with that. I disagree with either of them being that bad time or effort wise.
Like, yes, there is extraction. Like if you really put your mind to it, there's extraction. Yes, but that's a lot of hitting rocks and punching trees. Honestly, it's a lot.
Generally, that's what you have to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like when I get combat materia, I have to go fight things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have the hunts, of course, but here's the thing. It'll probably do what you're doing. I just don't think it's as bad as what you're saying. Because any amount of extra materia essentially eliminates it, because you only usually just barely don't have enough for your overmelding. You're not usually missing thousands of materia.
It's a few trips to the market board. I would say, like, again, I'm just saying I want to eliminate that gill sync. I think this should eliminate the gill sync.
Yeah. I mean, any amount added, and 7.3 will also add the crafting tribe, which also does have the materia option. Yeah. I just don't think it's that bad. Given how much I got the 11s, if I put that same effort into 12s over 3 days, I'd be looking pretty good.
Again, it's a lot of effort. That's a lot.
That's 3 days, Sly. That's 3 days of not even full days. I'm talking about like some of my stream. Like 5, like that's like 15 hours of time.
I mean, okay, let's say, custom deliveries give you free ones, so that's...
Yeah, that's not including custom deliveries either.
And then we're talking orange scripts. Yeah, really have fun with that. Have fun with that.
I don't have fun crafting at all, Sly, but I just don't think it's that bad.
Okay.
So, but then you'll get your wish either way. I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
So, there we go. Another new PvP series. That's going to be every major patch. So for those who don't know, PvP series are every major patch. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Seasons are normally split. There's 2 per series. So it's split down the middle once you get to 7.1. So expect like a 10-week season-ish. 10 to like 12-week season. And Seasons competitive series is just your battle pass. So I have to keep explaining it because of the names. Now, 6.2x, we will have our first field area. This has been confirmed. It is called the Occult Crescent. And it is part of the Shades Triangle Field Exploration series. Shades Triangle is mentioned in the MSQ, so we do have some backing for this as well. Whether or not it's tied into the relic or how closely it's tied into the relic is a bit up for debate, but do expect our first relics, both for crafting and gathering and combat, to begin in 6.2x. 7.2x, sorry. I don't know why. I did write 6.2 here, and I just read it. 7.2x. I did write this when we were still in the middle of Endwalker. So, yeah. 7.2x. Cult Crescent, new relics, combat, and crafting gathering. So, pretty busy. That alone would be enough for a 7.2x patch. But it's far from everything. New tribe quests, or Allied Society, the gathering ones. Hildebrand, other side story, starting up. Variant and Criterion, very likely to be making its first appearance in the 7.2x somewhere. And that's going to be a very telling time, because if they make the same mistakes they made in Endwalker, they'll... I sure hope they don't. Sly. Okay, actually, diving back a little bit, Sly, how did you feel about Variant? Okay. Not even Criterion. Let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about Variant, because I felt like 12 paths was too many. I did not like doing the dungeon 12 times to do all the story-related stuff. I felt like that was maybe a bit excessive.
But there's so much lore and story within those 12 paths,
But
Happy.
it's just so boring to do 12 times.
Do you what do you think is a magic number 8?
Like, yeah, like six to 8. Like, I don't want it. Like, just. Here's the thing. I'd rather do it less times for that first story beat and then find a way to get me to do it more regularly. Like, give me something for doing it weekly. Give me a roulette that includes all the variant dungeons on like a randomly, like an NPC.
But Abby, at the same
path.
time, this is what we kind of asked for. We wanted more than just a dungeon. We wanted a dungeon with like moving parts. We wanted a dungeon where it wasn't just, you going straight. You had alternative routes that, did something different. This is what
It's not, don't need 12 of them though. 12 is too fucking many. I hate that variant gets all this effort for the 12 paths. You're kind of bored by like the 6th or 7th because you essentially go down a path 4 times to change one thing that you do to fight the same bosses with one slightly different mechanic. If they like maybe changed more about the path that you've chosen or made it so that going down certain paths allows you to seek out more specific rewards, because it kind of does, but like it's not engaging enough. That'd be fine, but they don't. And I don't expect them to start. And I'd sooner they narrow the amount of paths down and then also introduce a variant roulette. Because that's my biggest problem is how extensive these dungeons are to do this. And then how little you end up having to interact with them because they are one and done style contents. I want the content to be less intrusive, less built for a one and done. That's how I feel about variant. It's just like I love it, but I don't love it 12 times. Doing it 12 times, love it.
No, that's a horrible idea.
No, come on. Now you got to say it. No. Now come on.
Putting it on a lockout.
Don't do that. You're right. It's a terrible idea.
Horrible.
That is a terrible idea. You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
so what? So you're saying it takes me 12 weeks to finish it? What is this, the fucking Nier follow-up?
Yeah.
God, I hated that shit. Hey, come back here and do this for 5 minutes to get a shit ending to the story. Kill me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any way to kind of like.
No, you got to design it better at its core. It's just got to be either more engaging for the 12 paths, meaning it's more variable than it is now, or give it more longevity. Like don't put all this effort into a resource, but then give us not enough reason to go back in and do it more. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's something they used to be really good at, and I feel like they haven't been. The Endwalker was a good example of them not being good at it anymore. They need to get back to that. So, because I almost always have every reward by the time I finish all 12 paths. I'm maybe missing
more secret bosses.
Oh yes. Oh, and for Criterion, the secret boss needs to be a part. I'm sick of the secret boss not being a part of Criterion. That annoys me to know. Like, if you're gonna still do Criterion Savage, I say do away with the permadeath thing and throw the secret boss in at the end. Like, make it scaled up higher, make the mechanics harder, make the trash harder, get rid of the permadeath thing that makes you start the whole. Get rid of the raise, but don't start the whole dungeon over. So that way you still, like, if you die, you're still dead on the boss until everyone dies, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then add the secret boss in the end. Like, I don't understand why they don't include. Like, I do and I don't. The secret boss should be a part of Savage. And of course, they need to fix the rewards. So yeah, that's how I feel about the secret boss. And the secret boss idea is great. That's the best part about Variant, in my opinion, is working your way up to the secret boss. So, no, they're good on that front, Sly. And they'll probably get a bunch of other stuff in 0.2x. Blue Mage, I'll say, if Blue Mage isn't 0.15, Blue Mage has to be 0.25. Like, I know I put 0.35 on this list when I made it ages ago, but no, it can't be any later than 0.25. Can't be. Then we move on to 7.3. Prediction would be mid to late August of 2025 for that one. That's MSQ, side quests, another new PvP series, new trial, new extreme, new unreal, new dungeon, continuation of cosmic exploration, continuation to the field exploration. New treasure map also is normally the roulette wheel. Although they did say they might do something other than the roulette wheel this expansion. They said they kind of wanted to do something else new for the treasure map at some point. I want pachinko. What do you want, Sly? I want pachinko.
Yeah, I just want something different.
What would you like in place of roulette wheel and doors? I want pachinko.
I'm trying to think of any other good game show that we have.
What if they just did slots? They wouldn't do slots because they would get banned in some countries, is the problem, yeah. Otherwise, I'd be perfectly okay with slots.
Yeah.
Plinko. Yeah.
Plinko.
Yeah.
Plinko would be good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, fucking Plinko.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
Card
Parker.
shark. We already have card sharks in maps anyway.
Yeah, we have we actually have those already, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it cheats. Just like normal card sharks. But it's just less sexist than what real card sharks is.
Yeah. So then we have, of course, Echoes of Vanadiel Part 2 would be in 7.3. I'm gotta listen. I don't know what they're planning on doing with those 24-man savages, but if they're tying them to the 11 raids here, here's the thing: if the 24-man savage has anything to do with Echoes of Vanadiel, then we're gonna end up expecting them every patch. Like that's the big thing we need to know about it. If it's Shadow Lord here, it's Divine Might for this. Like, it's undoubtedly Divine Might for part
when do we get Elnark?
Elnark would be here, but Divine Might is the way to go. Divine Might is the most iconic alliance encounter in all of Final Fantasy 11. There's almost no shot that if they do a 24-man savage that they don't do Divine Might. There's nothing more iconic than Divine Might. Now, I will say, if we are going to get a second ultimate, I would predict it for 7.3x, not for 7.5x. I think they want to avoid a 7.5x ultimate at all costs. But again, I think we're only going to get one. I'm holding to it. Especially because 7.35 would be scary. Look at what I have written down. Leave the Blue Mage one out of it. But look at everything else I have written down there, Sly. Under 7.35. Scarily large patch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deep Dungeon and or an alternative to it, since they seemed not committed entirely to doing Deep Dungeon. If we do get another 24-man savage, it would be here. Field exploration and or a Delubrum Reginae equivalent if they're not doing the other 24-man savage.
Yeah, some of this has to be 0.1, 0.31. Some of this.
That's where the second ultimate is.
No. Okay. No.
Yeah.
Because we're banking off of the fact that we're only getting one ultimate. A lot of this other content has to be in that 3.1, in that 0.31
It really
patch.
doesn't. It follows suit for it to all be in 0.35. Deep Dungeon, field exploration.
That's a beefy point.
Yeah.
That's a beefy 0.05 patch. That's a beefy.
Yeah. 0.35. Yeah. That could be the biggest. That's so historically in some patches, 0.35 is the largest content. 0.3 is usually the apex of content when we look at old expansions, because at that point we've gotten something in 0.2, and then 0.3 kind of finishes off the MSQ for all of them except Endwalker. It's usually got enough supporting updates to the things that are already there, and now there's enough supporting things that every single one of those looks like a big update in and of its own. And then it adds something like Deep Dungeon or a new area for field exploration, or maybe Blue Mage, or the number of things it can do is very high. And especially if they do something like a 24-man savage tied to Echoes of Vanadiel, which is still the question mark, that it throws a lot into flux. We also don't know what their variant criterion timing actually is for this expansion. They could move it to 0.35 for all we know.
Another thing.
Yeah.
And thinking outside of just, patch content in general. Isn't this around the time we get FanFest announcement?
Yeah. It would be. It would be about this time. We would probably expect that in like October, which would be before the next.
Oh yeah, normal FanFest time instead of the heat of fucking summer.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it's in October.
Please, dear God, Vegas in summer is awful. Please.
But wait, isn't the F1 race every year now in Vegas for the next several years? It would be pretty close to the F1 race. They wouldn't be doing construction anymore in theory, but it would be very close to the F1 race potentially. Yeah, because I just remember because that's what TwitchCon was in Vegas.
Haven't we had a November FanFest?
We might have had, I think we might have had one. Mm-hmm.
I preferred that. Yeah. I prefer that.
Yeah, unless we have it in San Diego, which they were going to do FanFest in San Diego before it got canceled in 2020. So, entirely possible. I just always think Yoshi P likes to gamble too much to go, but he's like, nah, fuck it. That was the universe.
Yeah, he likes to gamble. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants his gamba. Yeah, that would be fine either way. But yeah, that would be about the time we would start getting news about this, about 8.0. It would be between 7.3 and 7.4, just looking at the timing. Then we have 7.4 itself, which would look to be around the new year of 2026. Same deal, MSQ. Now, this would also be 7.4 would be the beginning of setup for 8.0. It does look like we are working towards a 7.3 MSQ finale based on statements from Yoshi P and just kind of the way the story went. 7.4 is our final Savage Raid patch. It has MSQ, Battle Change, New Cap Tome, Trial, Extreme, Unreal, Dungeon, whatever. At this point, it's just continuing everything that's already happened. But the finale of the Arcadian and its Savage tier would be in 7.4. We would very likely in 0.45 have Variant, Criterion, Field Exploration Update, Relic Weapon, Beastmaster could potentially be here, Hildebrand, Crafting Gathering Relics, regular relics. It's just, yeah. And now, as for brand new things, that's a bit of a question mark here. That's what we can't really tell. 0.45 and 0.55 tend to be like a leave the door open for something we don't expect kind of deal. And my bet is a Monster Hunter collaboration. Because by this point, Wilds will have been out for a while. And I think Yoshi P wants to do it. And I think Monster Hunter wants to do it as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm holding on to my prediction that we will get a Monster Hunter Wilds collaboration this expansion before the end of it.
Oh, 100%.
I don't want to say 100%. I think that. I think.
No, I'm saying I'm going to say 100% because again, it's the whole trade-off of what do we give Monster Hunter? Because that usually ends up being some good content in Monster Hunter, like Behemoth was.
Yeah, Behemoth. I think Yoshi P even recently said that Monster Hunter far outdid Final Fantasy on their side of the collaboration with Behemoth. And then
because it was a raid.
Yeah, I mean, it's to this day one of the hardest fights in the world. Because it has MMO mechanics. It has aggro, it has the baited AoEs, it has the meteor mechanic. It's got a lot of
it was it was the first one. It was the first one in World in Monster Hunter proper to kind of have an enrage. Yeah. And then Elatrion followed suit, and then Fatalis kind of followed suit.
Yeah, there was a lot in regards to that fight that made it very. I mean, a lot of people didn't like it for that either in World. A lot of people did, but a lot of people didn't like it for being more of an MMO fight, especially Extreme. But Behemoth Extreme was ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
that shit was frustrating.
I still have memories from that. Oh god.
Yeah. But we know that Yoshi P said a few things about what they could give. At one time, he went on record saying Nidhogg for the other side. He's more recently gone on record saying Bahamut on the monster. Which, by the way, is it not funny to imagine Bahamut getting flashbanged and falling out of the sky? Like, I just, like, of all the things to, like, happen, like, I just can't imagine Bahamut with how he fucking taints my screen with all this light.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the 14 side, we're like, why didn't we think of that?
Yeah, why did we throw magic dust at him that sparkles? To be fair, Paladin does have flash. He doesn't seem to give a shit, or did have Flash. He didn't seem to care.
Yeah.
And then on our side, we keep hearing Diablos. I think they should do the Wilds, something more Wilds exclusive.
Right, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, we know what the flagship monster is now for Wilds.
Yeah.
So I would prefer to get something Wild. Like, I get it. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be Wild.
I'd still prefer Nergigante. I would still want to like see Nergigante.
You want that Superman?
Nergigante.
Gotta go for the Superman dodge.
Yep.
Every time. So you hear that roar and you're like, hold sprint, hold sprint, hold sprint, hold sprint, hold sprint, Superman. Yeah. So that's going to be my kind of big collab. Because here's the thing. We always get collaborations. He's even talked about doing another 16 one, but with Jill this time, featuring gear from Jill and some new songs and whatnot. So it's always possible. But I think Monster Hunter is going to be the collaboration to show up.
Yeah.
This expansion. It's just too well received. The first one is almost universally well received. And it's permanent content to the game, which people prefer over the limited time stuff.
Yes.
So, just no Nier.
And people can still get their Rathalos.
Yeah, just no Nier.
Ooh, good question. What do we get? What's the reward we get?
I don't know. Another armor set. The fuck do I know? We need to know the monster is the problem. Because
that's the thing. The mount. The mount.
The mount is it's the boss. Like it's whoever they pick as the mount. So. And more.
I'm sorry, not the mount. Not the mount, the minion, excuse me.
The minion? We have the pig, we have the palico, so in this case it would probably be, if it's a Wilds collab, it would be the fucking bird. The thing we're riding around the map.
The Sacred?
Yeah, the Sacred. I mean, you could do that. I mean, if they ever did a Rise collab, we would have had the Palamutes. So.
Yeah, Palamutes would have been good.
Yeah. Barding as
Rise
well.
was
Like,
so...
there's a few things.
Rise was so meh.
I liked Rise. Played a lot of Rise.
It was sufficient.
I had a good time. It was better than spending a month not getting a fucking attack jewel like I did in World. Fuck you, Val Hazak. And Kushala. And all of you fucking Elder Dragons on release. Pieces of shit. Couldn't get another attack jewel till fucking Geralt showed up.
You feel a certain type of way.
I felt a very specific way about that attack jewel that nobody could get. Everyone's just like, I just need one more. And nobody fucking got it. It's like, oh, here it is in the loot list. You're fucking lying. Was just waiting for it to pop up on the fucking store so I could buy it for $3. Surprised they didn't do that and just finally stuck it into the fucking Witcher collab.
Then everybody had Safi Jiva and everybody was happy.
Yep. No, I'm happy. Anyway. Deserve that one. Twice. Yeah. One more and you're out.
Twice today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 7.5, probably around late May timing for the fucking patch, like I just said. MSQ Part 1, side quests, maybe some minor balance stuff. At that point, it's not really a big deal. PvP series, new trial, extreme. The combined mount, which people are definitely hoping will not be anything like Bahamut this time. I don't mind my Endwalker Bahamut, but you know. Some people seem to think it's going to be another pair of wings, and then I look at Bahamut and I go, yeah, because that totally made sense after getting fucking whatever they were called, the entire expansion. Mm-hmm. Why even expect it's going to be wings at this point? Like, they've clearly shown that the theme doesn't need to matter, so we'll see. Yeah, we had Lynxes, and then we got Bahamut.
Totally related.
Totally related. Exactly. New Unreal, new dungeon, Cosmic Exploration finale, Echoes of Vanadiel finale, and if the 24-man Savage thing is true, we would have another one there, too. And then by 7.55, Variant, Criterion, Field Exploration Relic, Crafter Gatherer Relic, Beastmaster at the latest. If it's not out by 7.45, it's 7.55. Hildebrand finale, Allied Society.
You really
finale.
think it's going to be this fucking late?
It can be. I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying that they said late.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
And then MSQ Part 2, other sides. So this, yeah, again, 0.45 and 0.55 is where we expect surprises. I know, an oxymoron, but like at that point, it's such a predictable pattern that you know there's got to be something else in there that makes you go, oh,
Right.
didn't see that coming. So yeah, those are that's the schedule for Dawntrail, the approximate schedule. That would, of course, make 8.0's launch in winter of 2026. Just saying. Neither for or against it, just observing. Why are you shaking your head?
Because February is usually the first hell month of the year.
Well, the good news
Every
is
year.
the raid would probably be done before then. So you wouldn't have to worry about it. I'm sorry. The raid would be out. You may not be done with it, but it would be out.
No. Mm-mm.
Bit presumptuous, but still.
Yeah. Usually presumptuous.
Yeah. But that's the Dawntrail schedule. That's the roadmap, or at least the approximate one. Now, like I said, I don't think they're actually going to do the roadmap in this upcoming stream. Hopefully they do something. I really hope they at least.
I still think they do.
I don't think. I guess here's the thing. If they're willing to just blast through it in 5 minutes, sure. Otherwise, no. They did a whole live letter on it last time.
It's one of the, I think it's going to be one of those 2 slide things where it's like it's out there. It's like one of those, like how they have the calendar, one of the calendar slides, I guess, where they just explain everything. It might be one slide. I don't know. Like you said, it might be one where it just put everything in one slide and hey, here's where everything fits, and we'll tell you about this later, or we'll tell you about this maybe today or something like that. I don't know.
Yep. It's just a matter of time. I mean, we don't have to wait too much longer. This first live letter will very quickly begin to inform everything else we think for the rest of the expansion. Kind of a high stakes live letter, even without a roadmap. Pretty high stakes live letter. So I'm very curious to see how this ends up going.
Fucking same.
There's something else I was going to say, and I totally forgot what it was. Totally forgot. I don't know. Brain's fried. Thinking about going to the gym. That's what's on my mind right now. Shoulders and arms and abs today. I have an emote for that. I also have the submissive moan emote, to be fair, but still.
Grr. It's like that one hunt market.
That's exactly what it is. It's the text box of Cat's Eyes Grr.
Cat's Eye. Yeah. Grr. Everybody just grrs. We go there. I love it.
Every single. I'll take that over Awu any day.
Or chirp from from Zamauka.
Squawk?
Yes. Chirp.
Oh yeah,
chirp.
That's right. Yeah, no, I forgot about the chirp. Yeah, that's the frog, one.
Yeah, chirp.
Yeah. All right. Chirp. But with that, yeah, I'd say that we got our show down for this week, and we'll see about
did.
We'll see about a show next week. So the thing is, the week of the live letter, it's Saturday night.
So do we want to do a show before?
That's exactly it. Like, do we literally just do a Sunday show?
No.
What do you mean, no?
No.
Is it football?
No. Football.
I fucking knew it. I called that shit. Because you literally started the
I
show
have
by
fucking
talking
Sunday
about
ticket.
football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't do a show right after the live letter, guys. Got football.
Even though my team's in trouble.
Oh yeah, I saw a few people. I don't know anything about football. There's a player named Tua.
Yeah, Tua concussed.
Yep. Yeah, I saw like 4 or 5 people tweet about that.
Yeah. So he's got 10 days before the next game to go through the protocol and hopefully get cleared.
Fingers crossed. Hey, the good news is that that Sunday would be well after the 10 days.
Yep.
So, good luck. All right, yeah, we'll figure out something, and then we'll see about shows for the following weeks leading up to it. It'll depend on the news cycle. It'll depend a little bit on if there's some topics that we want to hit upon. But yeah, we'll get shows out when it seems appropriate, at the very least.
Yeah.
So, with that, thanks everyone for tuning into this week's episode of State of the Realm. Thank you to our sponsors over on Patreon for supporting as well. You don't have to watch, choose to. All the content's available for free on YouTube and various podcast formats, including Spotify, so enjoy it there. And with that, Sly, why don't you tell everyone what you got going on, and we can wrap this baby up.
You can find me at twitch.tv/Sly, aka Gray Fox. You can find me on Twitter at Sly, aka Gray Fox. For now, things have finally returned to normalcy a little bit. I know episode I guess is out right now. I'm not playing it at release because, again, like I've already said a million times how I feel about the answer. So there's that. So yeah, like a little bit of normalcy. I have a WSOY event coming up next week. And then the week after that, I plan on doing a subathon. Because again, September, why not? And that is the same week as AetherCon too. And I will be doing something at AetherCon, which probably will get announced really soon. And it's going to be really fucking fun and interesting. So you should probably be there too. But yeah, pretty much same old, just going through the motions. Got raid tonight because Sunrise. Thanks, Sunrise.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Priz, yeah, Sly streams, y'all. Yes. 10 fucking years. This will be my 11th year.
I don't believe you.
Haps, what are you doing?
You can find me, Mrhappy1227, on all the things. Getting around to my caster verses, and I'm going to try to crank out the other ones. I haven't been making content too quickly as of late, between a few real life things and also just some work-life balance. Been enjoying life a little bit, you know. It was a good change of pace.
Yeah, you should.
You know, a little bit.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, I'm treating myself. It's been good.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. However, Casterverse on the way. I want to make a quick Visions of Mana video. Final Fantasy 16 PC is on Tuesday. It's on the 17th. So I do plan on streaming through that. I am also going to be this December working on every Final Fantasy Platinum on PlayStation. I've been prepping for that on Final Fantasy 14. I'm missing a single achievement that is part of the Platinum. 8,000 Gathering Collectibles, which is lined up with me needing to get the Ronique mount. Anyway, so I've been doubling up on both of those. October's going to be crazy. Metaphor is out that month. Mario Party is out that month. I said that right. I knew Sly was going to thumbs up. I knew if I said Mario Party right after, what the look he was going to have. What's it called? Very end of the month is Dragon Age. There's also Romancing Saga, I believe, in October as well. And I think there's one other thing I'm forgetting that I plan on playing. I know there's some other stuff that I don't plan on playing in October, but those at the very least are like the bare minimum things on my radar for October. And then November should be patch / ultimate in theory. So there's that. And then December, like I already said that. Oh no, so we have Fantasian this winter. Don't forget that. That's Sakaguchi, Daddy Final Fantasies game that was locked on Apple for ages and is going to be released elsewhere. That's in winter. We don't know when that is, but December would be a decent time for it, I think. Dragon Quest III is coming up as well. The remake of that. Visions of Mana just released. Really enjoyed that. And they actually just got a balance patch today. A few bug fixes and everything, even though, you know, the news regarding that has been ongoing. Wayfinder, also, I forgot. That's what's out next month. Wayfinder 1.0, which they announced they're doing a Critical Role collaboration. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That shocked me too. Mario and Luigi Brothership is in November. That's a big one. Oh, yeah. So there's a lot going on in the next couple months, especially if you're an RPG fan. So keep an eye on everything because it's about to get very, very busy. There's a few other things happening as well. I know there's a couple of other things on my radar, at the very least. But I'll leave the rest for the future. Okay, that's what I got going on. So a lot, actually, pretty decent. But with that, we're gonna go into a short post show before I head off to eat and go to the gym. And we'll keep you updated on future shows over the next several weeks. If I can come up with stuff, or if Sly has an idea that he wants to do, we'll make it happen. All right? Sound good? Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks, Sly, for coming by.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And we will see you all next week. So, bye-bye.
See you soon.